Alright guys, welcome back to the channel. If you guys are new here, I know a lot of new guys. We've got our total Talon build. If you're here from that, you probably know what's going on, but we bought it from auction. Sight unseen, basically. So was told it runs and drives. It does run and drive, but the front end is completely mangled. So if you guys want to catch up more on the whole process of buying one from Copart, the auction site, we got a whole video on that. Check it out. But if you don't know what we typically film on this channel, it is not rebuilding wrecked machines. We typically wheel some pretty built side-by-sides. Billy here's got a built Turbo S. I've got a built X3, and then Josh has a built Turbo S as well. So we typically do some stupid stuff, insert clips here, but in today's video, we are going to tear down the front end of this thing, show you guys the extensive damage up close. We kind of briefly talked about it a little bit in the last video, but yeah, I mean, we got some plans for it. Billy brought the secret weapon with him today, so we could show you guys the plan of attack. Got the hydraulic auto and body frame repair kit.
Yeah, that's, you know, it's good.
What more?
And it's even Harvey freight too.
The Pittsburgh. Okay, what more could you ask for, you know? So hopefully we can make something happen. We're gonna try and bend some frame back today, and hopefully this weekend start adding in some gussets and start getting this thing on the up and up. But yeah, we're gonna tear it down and show you guys, once we get some stuff out of the way, the in-depth damage. All right, guys. So we've got the Talon all tore down completely. Got the A-arms off, shocks off, axles out, diffs out, bumpers off. I think that's about it, right?
Yeah, plastics that
yeah.
we took off before.
Right. Yeah. And didn't uncover anything that we didn't already see prior. So now we definitely do want to show you guys every little spot that we can, because it's easy to see at this point. So I'm thinking start at the bottom. I'll show them the gnarliest spot, Billy.
Yeah, should we go front to back, you think? Or?
Yeah, I think so. Because that's, I'm sure, how the impact occurred.
Yeah, so obviously somewhere in this vicinity, I would assume, is where it hit.
And this bracket, so this is the bumper bracket for the driver's side. And this one, the bumper was bolted to it, but it was actually broke off. So it's safe to say, like, the impact point was in this area. So that bracket is completely gone. And then as you can see, the worst spot is right here. So it looks like that tube, honestly, I think it completely broke in half.
Yeah, you can see Larry's old welding job probably didn't hold up too well.
And if you guys didn't catch the video where we kind of tore it down a little bit, tore the plastic off of it in the last video, I kind of explained to you guys that someone had been in here kind of botching it back together. I don't understand why. If anybody knows the original owner of this thing,
Larry
the welder. Aside from the jokes about the welds and whatnot, I would be curious to hear the backstory on why this thing was like Harbor Freight welded back together.
Yeah, like what were you thinking?
Like there's no chance that this could have been safe back on a trail. I mean, look at like what? So like it's just I don't know. And it ended up in an auction yard totaled anyways. It's like, why not just leave it completely totaled? So this is the main damage impact corner. As you can see, this is messed up here. It looks like someone took it's hard to maybe see on film, but half of a pipe and like cut in half and scabbed it over to splice those two back together is kind of what it looks like they did. And then obviously this side looks like it's bent up, down. It's not, you know, parallel with that side. It's broken half here and just welded back together. And then say we'll keep moving forward on this bar. This is the diff mount here. This is tweaked back slightly, but not too bad.
Looks like he oblonged it for fitment.
And then the front diff mount, I mean, I know we're staying on the bottom bar, but now that we're on the diff mount talk, you can see it's broke there. Fine over there. This one is gone here. But aside from that, that's kind of where a majority of the damage stops. So like this all looks pretty good. And then this is cracked here, but you back up a little bit, you kind of get a perspective on where it is. And that's where the damage completely stops. At least everything that we've seen back that way looks great. So it's not too bad. You know, this isn't broke through like that one was. So I do believe once we get everything kind of shifted back where it needs to be, you know, we could just do a big gusset and add some strength to it and whatnot here, which you guys will see. Stay tuned. You know, we're gonna film the whole thing and show all the brackets and stuff we put back in. But so that kind of wraps up this whole side, I'd say, right?
Yeah, that's about it.
So we'll move on to the driver's side and show you over there. All right, so moving on to the driver's side, everything looks pretty straight over here. I mean, I haven't seen anything that looks bad in my opinion. I mean, something might be tweaked somewhere, but not enough to mess with it. For what we're after anyways, we'll call it.
Yeah, nothing down on this part anyways.
No.
It's just one spot.
Right, yeah, I'm talking like the lower main tube is what I was like referring to.
Yeah.
So moving upward a little bit, we'll go to the diff mounts now, talk about a little bit. The upper diff mounts on the passenger side's messed up. This one looks fine. The lower looks fine. Lower looks fine. So it's just basically the passenger side, which is good because at least this gives us a point to, you know, kind of hold it up, bolt it up, and build to the diff, if that makes sense. I guess we're going up a little bit. There's like this weird, like belly, I don't know, weird pan, I guess I'll call it, that the rack bolts to. And it's definitely tweaked a little bit, but it's hard to say like how much, because like this is fine and you can tell like none of this stuff's cracked like on the powder or anything or paint, whatever. So it's really hard to say how much of it is bent, but basically we'll just have to bend it back a little bit and then just build new diff mounts off of it. And you know, it doesn't need to be back to perfect in my opinion. We'll just let it kind of do its thing as we bend the rest of the stuff back. Is my thoughts. I don't know. So then moving upward from there more, we've got this whole area here, which is, I'd say, not terrible, but not great. You know, this is obviously the main issue. This stuff was clearly damaged, but I'd say this tube doesn't look like it's broke or cracked anywhere major. I think it was just like the bumper mount, because obviously the bumper hit something. Not the bumper we got. I think that was replaced by Larry himself.
Yeah.
And obviously the bumper bracket must have taken a hit because it's like welded back on, as you can see there. So as we keep moving up, this side actually looks fine. I think it's just a little bit of powder cracking from everything moving, but it's not like tweaked in any way. So I think this is this one and this one are probably pretty close to where the factory position is supposed to be, I'd say. Maybe a little bit off, but yeah, these two are definitely the ones that are out there in their own country. Moving up, as you can see here, got this bar, which is supposed to be bent. As you can see, like this is a factory gusset. So the tube is supposed to go this direction, just not kinked here. Obviously that's an issue. You can see that it was broke off of here, and it's obviously just welded on the top side back on, and obviously that's not good. Moving upward to, now this A piece is what your shocks bolt to here, and obviously this tube now, which ties in from your shock tower, you follow it back, ties into your main A pillar, and as you can see, it kinked here. There is a bend there, factory. You can see it. Hopefully you see that. On the driver's side, it's not damaged, so you can tell like it does have a bend in it, and it obviously just kinked at the bend. I mean, it makes sense also. This pipe, tube, whatever, I think has a little bit of a kink on this 90, but that's just to hold plastic, so we could bend that back as close as we want. I mean, odds are when it gets rolled again in the future.
Yeah, and the plastic actually wasn't bad when it was on.
No,
that's
somehow, yeah.
Bad.
Yeah, pretty interesting there. So over here, where this is that same bar, if you follow it back, it ties into the A pillar. Obviously something happened here. All I can say is Larry was laying some dimes on this side.
Yeah,
that looks nice. So that's actually nice. I mean, if everything looked like that, we'd be
in better shape, I think.
Better or worse? You wanted to say that you feel.
Yeah, I mean the welding probably is hurting us in the in the grand scheme of things. If it was just like totaled and stuff was just ripped off, it'd be easier for us to just kind of piece it back in the correct way.
Yeah, it kind of seems that way. I mean, it's tough.
Who would have thought? You know, this isn't something I don't think that's very common.
No, to see it pieced back together like this is just crazy. But I mean, this is what we wanted. This is what we were after. We were after an adventure, buying a totaled rig. I mean, clearly it wasn't going to be perfect. We knew that. Just not at all what we expected.
No. Not when it looks like, oh, it looks like maybe it needed a new A-arm or something.
Yeah.
It's just Gucci for the trails.
But what's funny is we were searching for a project that this probably looked like before it got tacked back together. Like, I mean, I was looking at ones that were like smoke front end, wheels hanging off, you know, stuff like that. I'm like, oh, that'd be a cool project, fab that back together. And this one rolled across for similar pricing. It's hard to compare pricing because the miles are all different, years are different, but this one rolled across. I'm like, man, this one don't seem like it needs too much. Yeah. And obviously we knew it could, but
here we are.
Here we are. You know. But anyways, this is welded back together. That looks decent. I'd say definitely, I don't know. You'll see the whole plan of rebuilding.
It looks like this might have got pushed down a little bit if you look underneath. See how it's kind of like pushed in?
Yeah.
That's the only thing I could see that would have been an issue.
Right.
I don't know.
Maybe it was detached in general. I mean, why would they? I don't know. We don't know what it looked like.
Dimes like that.
Yeah. We don't know what it looked like before it got, you know, touched. But we will definitely keep you guys on the loop on what we're going to do to repair all of this. So moving over to the driver's side on the top, you can see that same bar that connects the shock. Oh, I just got poked by something. Moving the same bar. So here's the one that I was telling you about that bent over there. This one is straight. And this is just kinked a little bit. I mean, decently a bit, I guess I'd say. Not as bad as that one where I think it actually like nearly breaking in half. But the good news is there's a dash bar. I guess I'm calling it a dash bar, but there's a bar here that runs from the A pillar all the way over to the other side to the A pillar, and that looks straight. Like it didn't, none of the energy transferred into that. Agreed?
Agreed.
And then also there's another bar right below. So here's the cage bung, and it's you know, a good 6 inches below that on both sides, and that goes all the way across, and that has no damage either. So, and then it's got tubes tying the two bars together that we were just talking about on both sides. And that basically, the biggest thing that gives us is a good reference point to make sure, like when we're bending this stuff back, the shocks and everything up here, we can measure off of those to make sure both sides are as close as we can get it, basically.
Yeah,
it's the goal.
Close to square, and we got it all leveled out on the lift to make sure everything will kind of be.
Yeah, we use a ratchet strap and a piece of metal to kind of get it as level as we could on the lift, like he was saying, to get it a level platform to build off of and try and bend back to. So that is the goal there. I think that's about it. I mean, you guys have seen the diff damage.
A little piece of Larry's wire up here.
The drive shaft we haven't showed them, but that appears to be fine. I mean, we're gonna run it. It's just you can see there, that was what was making the horrendous noises. Where is the loop? Do you know?
It's on the drive shaft.
Oh. All that was is there is no carrier bearing on the two-seater. This is just a drive shaft loop that, because the diff mounts were bent, the drive shaft was hitting the loop. And all the loop is doing is just preventing, if you have a U-joint failure, from the drive shaft slinging around and going through the plastic floorboard, you know. So pretty cool to see that there's no carrier bearing, so we don't have to worry about replacing any of that. Honestly, just bolt the drive shaft back in. I mean, there is mods that people do to the drive shafts and stuff that I'm sure we will do before we put it back in, but that's not the main right. priority. You see, we have bigger issues, so.
I mean, in all reality, though, if we really wanted to be halves, you could probably make this work with relatively easy without gusseting and really anything.
Yeah, I mean,
running it. You know, the arms were still bolted to it.
I'm sure Larry had all intentions of wheeling this unit.
But
it's just crazy. But yeah, back to that. I mean, we had the diff is out. The good news is we should have all good internals. I mean, we haven't pulled it apart, obviously. But we will take a walk over to the new diff. I don't think that was said, but we found a OEM brand new diff. Got it for a good deal. Shout out to Metz Machines. Same guy that we used to buy this from an auction. He is an OEM dealer, so he can get good deals on OEM parts. If you guys are looking for anything, I think all manufacturers, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, a lot of aftermarkets too.
Yeah, which I'll definitely let you guys know where we get all of our parts from. And as you'll see later in the video, got some more stuff through him. He's a vendor for a lot, but we got a brand new diff here. Fresh, you know?
Besides this,
yeah, I forgot about that. That is depressing.
Thanks, Honda.
This is legit brand new from Honda too. And just, I don't know what that is, like a drive shaft speed sensor of some sort.
Who knows? There's like 15 sensors on this diff.
Well, it is four-wheel drive. Four-wheel drive.
Yeah.
Interesting.
This talks to something to make it hit the brakes. I don't know.
It's crazy. But anyways, just got a fresh one. Came with all the sensors. Came with everything we need. Hopefully we can get the sensor off of our other diff and replace that one.
Yeah, it doesn't appear to be damaged.
Yeah. That's a major bummer. But what I was saying is, the good news is I think it's just the cases that are damaged on our old diff. So in the light that Blownbudgetoffroad strikes again, which time isn't on our side with that, we do have a whole good set of internals, so that's cool. We haven't looked into it, but some people are saying that maybe you could just replace the cases, which I probably should have looked into before ordering a brand new diff, but maybe we can just replace the cases on this diff if need be for a spare, or if we break the other one, etc., etc. But moving forward, here's the A-arms bumper diff. That's what we pulled out. And we are going to start with a SuperATV gusset kit. It's basically going to be our first plan of attack. Not sure how this puzzle piece goes together into a gusset kit, but we are about to find out. So we're going to get started piecing that onto the machine and bolt it to the driver's side is the plan. And then I'll show you what we're going to do from there. All right, guys, we got a visitor. Josh has showed up.
Oh, hey, guys. Oops, almost forgot my safety glasses.
You've got it now.
Oh, bring back.
Shoo, buddy. It's begun. So for the reference, if you guys haven't seen, I don't know if it's like a TikTok or I don't really do TikTok, but now they've made it to Facebook and Instagram somehow. It's part of our diff. Don't worry.
Run diff off-road, boys.
But that was a reel that went viral, or a video that went viral of some dude cutting something and, oh, I forgot my safety glasses, just squints. There's the backstory of that joke. But anyways, making some relief cuts before we start bending stuff back. Clearly, we're not gonna leave Larry's welds that he had going there.
Sorry, Larry.
Sorry, Larry.
Well, here's the relief cut.
Sorry, Larry.
We cut Larry's weld out, as you guys seen in the last clip.
Here's Justin, you know, about to give a workout. I want to pump you up.
So we got the old, what is that, the pour power?
Pour the power, you know, gonna push on this, bend this jalopy back together. Ray Charles Jr. Push this down, around, square.
Somewhere.
So
One push, we'll be good to go.
In all seriousness though, we did, to come up with this first bend, we looked at the front A-arm tab, the upper, and you can see, I don't know how much it shows to video, but it's on like a gnarly angle, the bolt is.
So you can see the two planes of the bolts. The front
like this one's
plane
like this, and
is
this
more
one's
angled.
flat.
And if you compare it to the passenger side, now, you know, remember folks, we're electricians, so I'm pretty good with my eyeball.
Good Lord. So anyways, that's where the consensus came to from, whereas obviously that stuff's all bent in. We've measured it with the wheels on, like it's all, this whole corner was pushed in. So we're gonna start up top, start pushing things the right direction. We cut this relief cut here so it doesn't fight us. We've also measured from this bolt to the floor, this bolt to the floor. The rig is leveled on bars that are not bent, so it's level on the lift. So measuring from here to the floor tells us that this whole point needs to come down, and I think starting from the top and working down is the best method. So we got this thing wedged in here. I've never used one. I don't think any of you guys have either, right?
I have, but not very often. We
Not
got
in
on
a scenario like this.
No.
Not on the old Turbo S, right?
No.
How confident
Never.
are you guys gonna bash this into a 3-foot wall?
I'm gonna send it.
That'll be alright.
I'll rip an A-arm off. I don't care.
All right, here we go. Oh god, it's moving the dash. Yeah.
Is it?
Yeah.
It turns out the front's
Right
stronger
off.
than the dash.
Ooh.
Move the dash a lot.
Alrighty then.
Well, in that case.
Stay tuned.
Right there?
Just don't cut any brake lines.
You're good.
Safety glasses.
Oh wait.
Oh god. Not the brake line.
Getting wild. I got Billy's finger.
He had to look like, did you? Alright, next.
I don't need those.
This one?
Yep.
Or back here?
No,
in the weld.
right in the middle.
Right in the strongest part?
Yep.
Jeez.
You think Ray Charles made that strong?
Judging by that, it probably is. It's starting to move. This is where the Sawzall blade breaks.
We could probably put pressure on the ram, you know?
Yeah.
Spicy.
I mean,
Oh, you know.
I'm gonna go with that moved. Yeah, it
Yeah,
wasn't
it's 'cause of
welded
that
on the
weld.
right, which we might have to cut this again. 'Cause they're, well, when we push, it should be pushing the right way. So when we were pushing on the porta power, it wasn't moving as much in this area as it was wanting to actually bend the bar we were pushing against. So decided to make a couple more relief cuts, and we'll rig it back in there and see if it's bending at the right spots. Obviously, the spots we're cutting are not good spots to begin with, so we're not concerned about keeping those, you know.
Yeah, it's been in it quite a bit.
Which one?
This one.
Yeah, mine too, though.
This looked like it might have moved down a little.
You're definitely moving this.
Yeah.
Holy Toledo, look at that gap.
I just wonder if we should strap it.
Bananas everywhere, folks.
How much do you think I'm...
Let me see that.
China.
Alright guys, so we didn't film, we failed already, but we basically had a shackle wrapped around the tube right behind this plastic. You can't see, there's a hole here, and he wrapped around there, and we pulled this whole thing towards the chassis, and we got this measurement basically from A-arm to A-arm mount. We measured off our good side, our unbent side, and we pulled this in, so now those are the right distance after springback. Actually, we got pretty lucky on that. But now we are trying to pull this here, I don't know if you guys can see it in the clip, this A-arm mount down to the same measurement off the floor as this A-arm mount. So we rigged this, we got a chain wrapped around this gusset kit and this middle skid plate thing, and we've got it rigged all the way up to the shock tower here. And we're hoping that the shock tower moves down and the skid plate does not move up. We'll see.
So basically what is left that's fighting us?
I mean, it seems like this is fighting us clearly on this shock tower. And then this top piece of steel, if you want to call it that.
Winch mount plate thing.
It's there for the steering rack to bolt to. Yeah, we've talked about earlier that it's obviously bent. And we're trying to avoid cutting it because it's not broken, it's just kind of bent. So if we were to cut that, this would all move a lot easier. So that's the end of the world, we'll have to cut that. But for now, we're just trying to bend that back with it, kind of thing. So we're gonna try pulling and see what moves. Watch that bottom, I'll watch the top.
Yep.
Oh, sweet baby Jesus.
Moving. Are you moving?
I think the bottom will move a little bit. Yeah, bottom's definitely moving.
The skid or the old skid? The new skid or the
This
old
piece.
skid? Oh no, I'm saying
No, this is
make sure we
moving
don't
up.
bend our new shit up.
That's what it was doing.
Huh.
It was bending up when you did that. I hit it again.
So not good. Is what we're saying.
Try one more pump.
We want to pull the.
Yeah, it's pulling the bottom up for sure. But I think we do need that to come up too, though, because if you put a level on like our bottom of our plate.
I don't think so because it's bent up where the tube's kinked. If anything, it needs to go the other way. That whole thing's coming off. We just can't bend the driver's side up. That's the only thing that's gonna stay.
Yeah.
We're not frame guys, that's for sure.
Yeah, I mean, it's only bending up the passenger side.
Okay. This didn't work.
Fail, number 1473. Cut. Would you just look at this crap?
Don't fuck around.
It's all 10 tons.
10-ton nut.
Alright, show them what we did. Back to plan A.
We wrapped a chain around here and a chain around there to take some of the pressure from there to make this not banana, which in turn hopefully doesn't move this but moves that. And Billy looks like he's in the danger zone.
What happened to Billy's thumb?
Minor.
Oh, I'll show you guys what happened to his thumb. I don't know if you, hang on, let me get in there nice and close. Look at that. Right there, it's a nice point right on my fingernail. You know?
Thanks, Larry.
Alright, Josh.
All right, we're back.
Come from this side once. Let's hopefully watch this whole shock tower move. Holy Toledo. We got big action, folks. There's a gap there. It's definitely moving the dash bar a little, but a lot better than it was.
How's the chain look with the nut? These nuts.
It's not bending that little tube that the chains ran through.
No.
These nuts.
So get that out of there. Should be fine.
Got him.
So much pressure.
The look of concern on both their faces. Just thinking.
That's working though.
They're like, yep, definitely gonna put a helmet on when I ride this thing. I heard some noise. Not sure what it was. How much spring back? Are we taking bets?
That's working awesome though.
Easy with the potty mouth there. You got children over there.
Alright, so how far do we go?
I'd assume over of what we're trying
More,
to do.
because we can bend it back and then it's weaker.
That's true.
So we'd want to measure, in the end, we're hoping to get this, the center of this, the same as the center of that. From
I think it's
here.
pretty close according to the
So,
old
you know what I mean?
electrician eyeball.
This.
So we're gonna go with about a 1/2 inch to 3/4 inch of spring back.
I'm curious if it's going down at all though.
Holy smokes.
I don't think we've really said it, but if you guys have never messed with like rams and bending stuff, there's always spring back. So we're trying to go beyond what we actually want and get it to where when we let the pressure off the ram, it lands somewhere where we want it.
Insert Billy meme of calculating numbers. Show them the kind of tape measure you're
It's
using.
3/8. 3/8.
There,
It's
look.
gotta go down 3/8.
Down?
Yeah, it's done.
It's even got the numbers on. He got the cheating one. All the, I can just see the steam going right out his ears. Zoom in.
Is it moving stuff?
Oh, sorry. That one. Yep. Another
We
one.
don't want to go too much, but I guess we could always.
That's only like
I think it's gonna.
that's
spring
only
back
like a 1/4
lot.
inch. You need to go more. That's probably
Another
3/8 of an inch. That's
Let's just see what
probably
it springs back.
Okay.
oh god. You need to go like a full.
Yeah. And then all the way
Thing's
back.
sprung back. Well, let's see how much it's sprung back.
Gotta wait for
Oh,
action.
sorry. So we're measuring off this straight bar back here because we know that's pretty straight. We think. So.
We know that's pretty straight, we think. I love it.
So you take this measurement here up to where the edge of this shock mount is. That's kind of what we're doing. So right now we're at 12 1/4 approximately. And then over here,
Finds you 10,000 pounds of ram pressure.
yeah, and over
whatever it
here
is.
we're at 11 3/4, which is what we started with. So this side's not moving. We're just moving the
And-
side we want
And
to.
this side we have chained back to where the ram is coming from. So that way we don't move this side because this side has not moved yet. Also.
Right.
So just want to show you guys kind of what the method was. We were obviously
So
Oh,
during
3/4.
this process, where the powder is on this plate right there, I have watched it flatten, so it did bend that back out. So we should, hopefully, when it springs back, we'll know by this gap here how much we actually moved.
I actually think this thing might have been welded too, where it's actually supposed to be somewhere over here. Because where how this is, if it went bent out, it'd bend this back down. You know what I mean? If this
Yeah.
pulled out, this would bend back down.
yeah. All right, you guys ready?
Yep.
So we're gonna show you guys a lot of spring back that we're talking about. So we are what, a 1/2 inch over what we want to end up being.
Yep.
We're gonna go in way more than that, unfortunately. My God, it just goes back basically to.
It moved a little.
It moved it some. Yeah, so we literally went over a full, what, 1.5 inches to gain a 1/4 inch.
So we've got 11 and a half.
We're close. It's close.
So we need to go another 1/4 inch, and you're still 11 3/4 over there with no pressure on anything.
I think we tweaked it a little
yes,
bit.
exactly 11 3/4.
All right, let's keep doing it then. We just need to go. We need to go a little bit more. We're a 1/4 inch off at this point to getting our shocks both the same distance off of there.
For those of you who don't know, in person, don't look at the light. Who's welding? I don't know. You can't see, he's hidden behind that face shield. But on TV, stare at it.
factory's welding service.
All right, guys. So we didn't show this earlier, but we did throw up this the SuperATV gusset kit on the bottom on this side. This is the straight side, the driver's side of the frame, and it's actually, this mount was close. I mean, the bolt went right through it, so it's not that far off. It's just not gonna be strong. So I think the consensus is we're just gonna lob all of this off, this whole front corner here, and rebuild. But we're calling it a day for today, and we're gonna mess with that tomorrow. So, but what we did get done is we got this front shock tower pulled out that way, and I mean it's dead on from this point here where the shock tower bolts on to this chassis bar, which is straight, is the same on driver's side, same on passenger side, and we just used the ram, pushed it out, and then we used the chain there to hold it from, you know, pushing the whole shock tower out. And then we welded in a tube here. We cut out that joint that was messed up there, welded in a tube there, and just sleeved it over. So there's, you know, quite a bit of tube left in there, and then sleeved it over that a little bit, welded that together. And we are no longer going to use that bar primarily as like strength for the shock tower. So as we keep building,
we basically saved it for the location to mount the plastic.
Yeah, and basically to hold our shock tower where we want it also for now as we build more gussets off. So as we keep going with this build, you guys will see what I mean by we're not really using this as structural anymore. I know it is from the factory. So to be honest, the end all goal that we've been talking about, I think it's going to be a lot stronger than this kinked little piece of pipe that it was factory. I mean, that's literally all that holds the shock tower brace when it's not bent is this tube, which,
and these, but they're pre-bent too, so that's in, like, right where that's bent factory is gonna just bend super easy if it hits something.
It's like
all bends weakened pipe, so
it's like these ones down here, like 3/4 inch pipe, and these are 1 inch pipe, both less than what, a 1/16 wall tube. They're tiny.
yeah, I mean it's not even 3/16 steel. I mean, you guys can't see it, but there's holes in it and stuff, and we just cut it in half, obviously cut the bad stuff out. And it's, I mean, we're electricians, it's literally like EMT conduit, you know, like the super thin stuff that you pipe your freaking house and shop with. It's insane. So I mean, when we're done with it, it's going to be way stronger than factory, in my opinion. Obviously we will be the test of that though, so but we'll see. But just want to show you guys where we were at for now, and pick this back up in the morning. Bye. Good night. All right, guys, next morning we're back out here in the shop. I'm gonna end this video off here. I just wanted to say I want to give a shout out to a few people that jumped on board and sponsoring the build that we're working on here. We really appreciate the support. We got Fly PPG, Trinity Exhausts, and Bruening overhead door. So shout out to those guys. Really appreciate the support, and we're gonna end it off here. I've got a lot more footage than I expected from yesterday, so hopefully you guys enjoy this fab stuff. I think it's pretty cool. I mean, I think you guys enjoy it. A couple of videos have dropped already, and you guys are loving the Talon build, so that's super cool to see and super motivating. So I'm gonna drop the camera and we're gonna get to it. If you guys are interested in staying tuned for the next video, I mean, we're gonna start tackling the main frame down here and start cutting stuff out and rebuilding what we're gonna do. So if you guys aren't already, hit that subscribe button. See you on the next one.